Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, everybody, Charles here, and welcome to another great show. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, call a friend, let them know we're live. I'll wait. Go ahead, call somebody because you don't want to miss this show. It is going to be a fantastic show. My panel is there. I can see them all in the green room smiling away. They're excited to come on and tell you what's happening. We have a great show, a great event coming on. And if you've been watching all week, you know what it is. Saturday, March 8th. Starting at 1 p.m. I know it says 2, but we want to make sure you get there early. Get a front row seat, park early, bring a friend with you. Where is it? Come on. You know where it is already. Civic Center, 27 Eglinton Avenue West. But here's the main thing. Why should you show up? We're going to tell you why. But let's bring in some of our special guests to start it off. So let's go.
Good morning.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. It's so exciting that we're going to be getting together at the International Women's Day event on this Saturday at the York Civic Center. So I'm looking forward to coming. I'm a personal trainer and healing and wellness coach, and I'm looking forward to just mixing and mingling with some of the other women in the city and just sharing some of our talents and skills amongst each other and doing some networking. So it's going to be a great event.
All right. I'll see you in a second. Let's bring some other ones on. Here we go. Mary, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. My name is Mary Wu. I'm a nutritionist. Oh my God, I have a long list. Professor, author, and entrepreneur. And I'm inviting all of you to come on Saturday. Do not miss this event. It's going to be amazing. Like, I've attended so many events in the past. It's a great opportunity to meet people in person, correct? And build some great relationships, learn from others, and maybe even have collaboration opportunities.
Absolutely.
The event is at the York Civic Center. So make sure you come early. You don't want to be late, and mingle and have a good time.
All right. We'll be right back. Here we go.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Rachel Abba here. I'm the founder of Unbroken Woman Mentoring, Inc., and I'm also a courage mentor supporting ambitious women of faith in breaking through fear and doubt to step into their God-given purpose. Peace of mind. So this coming weekend, Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is hosting a phenomenal event again. It's our annual event for International Women's Day on March 8th. So you already know the venue, York Civic Center. Please come out and join. Men, women, everyone. You're all welcome. Please come and support this global movement for change.
All right. We'll be right back. Here we go.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us here. My name is Zareen, and I am a social entrepreneur working with reusable, sustainable alternatives all together. So really, really excited to see and meet everyone at the IWB Women's Day event that we have annually at the York Civic Center this Saturday, March 8th, 2 p.m. And as you said, we should be there earlier just to, meet and meet everyone. And I would also like to add that this year we have a special social impact corner, which will be a surprise for everyone. So it will be really interactive, really colorful, and a lot of fun while we show each of our impact and social things that we are doing around us. So let it be a surprise, but hope to see you all in the event, and everyone coming to the corner and finding something for themselves, right? So see you there.
There you go. Hey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kalina Powell, aka the Deaf Queen Boss. I'm a CEO, author, and a speaker. I'm super excited to speak with IWB. I mean, this is actually my first time speaking, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm super excited. And please come early so you can network and meet with the right people. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a phenomenal time ever. And I know there's going to be so many wonderful immigrant women in business coming out. definitely don't miss this opportunity, you guys. I'm excited to see you there.
All right, but last but definitely not least, let's go.
Hello, hello. My name is Angel Serapis. I am the founder of Philosoph AI. I am also a peace ambassador representing my beautiful home of Afghanistan. Beyond honored to be a part of this event. Honestly, there is no other better event to see feminine power in action. So I urge everyone to come in, to come together, and to co-create a beautiful time.
There we go. So here it is. I'm going to bring everybody on stage. Usually we have fun with this and we joke around and we talk about the event and how great it's going to be and make sure everybody knows how to hug properly, because that's what it is. You get there early. It's all about hugging first. For the first half an hour, just hugging everybody, hugging everybody. But I wanted to get a little bit more serious about the special day. You know what I mean? And I thought this panel will be fantastic to talk about it. So let's go straight in it. So I actually have some questions that I'm just going to pull up on the screen and anybody can jump right in, because I just want it to be a discussion, because we talk about all the events. Like I've been seeing calendars. Everybody's putting on an event. But why are you putting on events? Why is this day so special? So let's get right into it, all right? Here's my first question. Why is it so important to recognize and celebrate International Women's Day in society today? Why is it so important?
I think that women play a very important role, and I think we normally sort of tend to sort of downplay what we do. Correct? We are juggling a lot of balls. We are sort of managing family, work, and everything. And I think it's so important to sometimes just celebrate and recognize what we do. And I think this is a great way to do it.
Anybody else?
Definitely. I think that it's so important to acknowledge the powerful women that we have in our community. And so many times we kind of get pushed in the back row, or are not, the spotlight's not really on us. So when there's an opportunity for us to focus on the strong women in our communities, we need to take advantage of it and come together and really show up and show what we can do and what we offer in our communities, and not play that back role, that kind of behind the scenes place where we take a lot of the times. And I think, especially as working women, people in business, mothers, we all play a role that's huge. We are so strong and powerful, yet we don't get the acknowledgement and recognition that we deserve. So when there is time set aside on our calendar to acknowledge the things that we're doing as women as a whole in this city and in other communities, we need to come together and make sure that we let everyone hear our voices when we have that chance.
Exactly, I 100% agree. And for me, the reason why it's super important to celebrate women as a whole is because of the history. We overcome so much through our history. Our history, women were not able to work, women were not able to have a voice. So it's very important that we do celebrate everyone's voice as a whole, doesn't matter what background you come from, but also honoring ourselves and how far we overcome so many years, especially the history.
I agree 100%. All right, my next question. Here we go. What progress have we made so far? And what challenges still remain? Like, what have you seen since we've been doing, International Women's Day, and we've been going back now, say, let's go 3 years back. It's been really promoted. Like, everybody's doing it. If you look, the calendar is full with all these events. Everybody's jumping on board, which is fantastic. But what's really changed and what needs more to change?
This is a huge one. This is really huge because even though we have made progress and we have made strides, and I see it in the connections globally, how we're, it's almost like the left hand knows what the right hand is doing now, and we're attempting to figure it out and coming together as a community and making this a movement. It does seem in recent years as well, it's almost like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. So we get to remain vigilant, and we get to remain very dynamic and open and bold in the way women, and especially as men as well. This is a time where all our voices get to be amplified, and we cannot rest on our laurels, because we imagine that just because we're entrepreneurs and we're using our voices, and we cannot rest on that and just become comfortable, because now more than ever, our sovereignty and our voices are being threatened. So we get to show up.
Yeah. And I would like to add that gender equality is actually one of the most important SDGs, UN SDGs, the number 5 one. Although everyone, there has been a lot of progress made for gender equality, uh, people coming up, talking about it and everything. But I think one of the challenges still remain is, sometimes that kind of, I would say, the stereotype is still there, which we all need to come together. And that's why also recognition and celebration is so important. And I think gender equality is something that is a very important part of IWB in general and all of our work here. So definitely there is a lot of progress, but those challenges are still there, and we are all working towards that for sure.
I mean, I would like to definitely add is that from my experience, just in the workforce, I've seen is that there's still a glass ceiling, whether we like it or we don't like it, correct? And you really look at all the top people, majority of them are men, correct? So we definitely have to sort of come together and really showcase the potential and the, I guess, the qualities of the women that are sort of, aspiring to be there. And even till now, like there is a gap with even regards to income. Like, the men are paid more than the women, as well as in the sense that women have to actually almost do double to prove themselves that they are capable of that position. So I think the more we showcase and really celebrate what women are doing and be the role models, because you are actually setting an example for the younger generation and saying, hey, you actually can achieve what these women have. So I think these events are really, really important to showcase what we have done.
All right. Before we move on, I just see right now I have somebody new in the green room, so let's welcome her to the show. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you just great. Introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so sorry, everybody. I was rushing to make sure I don't miss the podcast, to be a part of this podcast. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yep. Introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Fumi Adeshina. I'm the president of the IWB Scarborough chapter, mainly into real estate. I would say I'm a real estate investor guru, if you ask me. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the show. All right. So here it is. Here's my next question. Because I have a daughter myself, and I want to know, how does International Women's Day empower and inspire the future generation coming up? How does these events build up the young generation?
I'd like to speak on that because I am the mother of 6 daughters. So I know that I have a huge responsibility as their mom. And I also have a son, but I think that it's equally as important raising so many children for them to recognize the position that we hold in our community. But I think it's also important that my son sees that. And I think a lot of times when we have days like this, our focus is that women come together and that women promote and that women step onto the stages. But if the men aren't behind us and supporting that we get the equality and that glass ceiling be broken, like Mary mentioned, then it's not going to be something that's going to be incorporated in our society. So it's equally as important, I think, that we recognize that our sons need to see it happening and that they can support their sisters and their mother as they watch that happening in their life. So we have a huge example to leave behind. And my whole point in life is to leave a legacy for my daughters and my son. And this is a good opportunity for us to come together and support each other in doing that.
I would like to add.
And it's also, very important, also being a parent of daughters. It is very important for us to get the practice at events such as this, and even beyond March 8th, to be able to, come together as a community of like-minded women and of leaders and of social impact investors to be able to get into the practice of what it looks like and feels like to support other women, what it looks like and feels like to invest in the progress and success of female-led initiatives, and also to to receive, just as important to contribute, because, you know, women are no strangers to contributing. It can get very difficult for many of us. A muscle that we don't really get to practice is that of reception, being able to receive people pouring into us, being able to receive support and love and our accolades and our flowers. So this is a practice of self-love, is the way I've experienced it over the years. And this is a practice of being able to really enjoy and get that nourishment of seeing yourself represented. So this is a huge legacy for future generations to come.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to say something like it's like being celebrating it as like Christmas or something. It's supposed to be everyday Women's Day, the way I see it, because we are the movers and the shakers of the society, right? If you take the women out of the scene, what is left? Right, so we're doing a lot, we're moving, even the men that you seen doing you know, on the forefront. Without the women, what can they do, right? So we should be more like, for me, it's supposed to be like everyday kind of thing. The women should be recognized more, not just like we painting it March 8 Women's Day and that we're taking the glory for that day. We should be taking the glory every blessed day. You know what I mean? Because we are
Amen.
yeah. Yeah.
A woman.
Yeah. We are the
You know what?
power, we are the
Statistically,
engine, we are everything, right?
you're correct for
Yeah,
me,
we are
because
everything.
statistically,
I don't really like the quote where they say behind every successful man there's a woman. No, no, no. You know, like we're supposed to be not behind, beside. Even the Bible says that. I don't want to bring religion into this, but yeah, I need us to see us like we are way, you know, ahead, forward.
Well,
If
listen.
we have that mentality and that thinking, it shouldn't be just March 8 for us. Like it's every day.
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So hold on. Joe mentioned it. You mentioned it. It's part of my next question. So I'm going to dive right into it because I know this is getting hot. So I'm going to dive right into it. Okay. Okay. What role do men and allies play in supporting gender equality for women and empowering? Like, what more can we do then? All right. I know, like, you know, I call my mom, tell her how much I love her, and tell her what she's done for me, how great she is. Tell, you know, girlfriends, wives, brothers, and sisters. We all got to say it. But what more can be done? What role can we play then?
Represent women's voices in rooms and spaces where women are not present.
Mhm.
Get to put yourself in situations where you get to put some skin in the game, where you feel like, lean into the discomfort of what it's like to invest in the best interest of women, because at the end of the day, it's really investing in yourself. When women do well in a society, in a family, in a company, everybody does well. So it's not as if, oh, what can I do as a man to help those women over there? No, what can you do to invest in humanity, in our future? Because when women thrive, we, you know, it goes, it's like a delta, it flows to everyone and everything, and it's planting seeds. So if you're only interested in eating the harvest and not planting seeds, then go right ahead and put women in the back. See
And
how that,
I
yeah.
want to say something as well. Like, if you look at, like, you are applying for a position, right? Maybe like there are let's say a group of five, three men and two women. The men will always be considered first. But I need people to start having the mentality of thinking, give the woman the chance first. You know, take priority on the ladies, on the women before you choose, before you even think about the men. Give the woman the chance, because once the woman takes the lead, she pay attention to every nitty gritty of everything, every details of every stuff, and she makes sure that everybody on the team is carried along. I'm sorry to say, men don't really have the attention, the, you know, the patience and all of those little things. But yeah, women are there. Like, we should like put the women first. You know, let there be a turnaround, a shift, and let's see what will happen. It's a challenge I'm throwing out there.
Yeah, it's an important thing for the men that are in positions, that they give women the opportunity by voicing that. it's not just going to happen. We all recognize that the men have the place where they're a little bit higher up. And until men start to say, I want to give her the opportunity, until they take a step back and give us a chance to step forward, it's just not going to happen. And like any kind of event that's happening on March 8th, predominantly women will be there. And until there's a balance and enough men are coming to support and say, yes, I want to hear, I want to support, I want to listen to what you have to say, then there is not going to be a change. So like we mentioned earlier, there have been small steps forward, but I think we are taking as many steps backwards or staying where we're at because enough men aren't stepping forward and saying, listen, I will take a step back because I see that she's better in this position than I am. Men just are not that type of being. So they know that it's true, but they will not kind of reduce themselves to the place where they're going to allow us to take that step ahead of them. So until those shifts happen in our society, until men start to take a step back and allow us to do what they know we can do better, then we're just going to stay where we're at.
All right. So I'm talking.
Charles, I just want to quickly say, I mean, we understand the nuance, right? And we understand that men are not a monolith. And it's not as if women are asking for handouts. And it's not as if women are not capable of stepping up and using their voices and showing up and showing out. It's not that we're sitting idle and folding arms and just waiting for opportunities to be handed to us on a silver platter. What I will say is that don't put obstacles in my way that are artificial. Don't sabotage my progress just because you might have, issues and insecurities. You know what I mean? Like, let this, and that's the equity that I would love to be able to see of, let the person who, as in harmony, let the person who can bring the most value in that position at that time, for that moment, let them step forward and be a leader. And on the same team, because we're a team, whether it be globally, like macro, micro, it's about, okay, in this particular situation, the other person gets to lead. Charles gets to lead because this is what we require in terms of a result. And so it's, for me, it's not only about gender. This is about, let the person who is in the best position to lead and get the results for the betterment of all, let them lead the charge on this project, on this initiative, or this, whatever it is, as opposed to, oh, I happen to have been here the longest. I happen to have the most degrees. So therefore, let me be the one to lead, or I happen to be male, or happen to be a relative of the person who owns the company. Like, let it be equitable for the betterment of all, case by case, is all I'm saying.
All right.
I just want to add to that is that, I think they should look at women as not a threat, but as a person who's competent, correct? And trust them that they are able to do what they need to do. And that's how, people, it doesn't matter whether it's women or men, you shine, correct? So I can just give an experience of, I had a boss who I used to work with, and he trusted me and gave me autonomy, and I was able to do what I needed to do, and he didn't have any problem, correct? So that's what it is. It's really trust and believing that this person is competent enough to do, and then sort of back off and say, okay, let them do what they need to do and prove themselves. And I think it's with anybody. It doesn't matter whether it's women or men. That's exactly the fundamental of how people should work with each other. And then that way you'll get the best out of everybody.
If I may share something on this, I know that we've had a lot of passionate insights to this. Although I would like to take a unique perspective on this. When we ask the question, how can men and allies be of better support to women and to help empower them? I think another question would be to ask is, how can men tap into their inner feminine? Because when we usually think about men and women, it's in physicality, there's a separation there. And yet the fact is that everything boils down to energy. And we, as all human beings, have access to our feminine and masculine energy. And so I find that when you are tapping into your inner feminine, that's the force that embodies reciprocity, receptivity, intuition, creation, and collaboration. That is how you truly create change. and truly create a better world. So for men to also tap into that energy within themselves, I think not only will they have more compassion for other women, but also they start to embody that energy within themselves, and we can come together in that.
All right, because I was about to ask you, you're saying men, men, men. It's not, it's like some of them are like, okay, is it all of us that do it? Is it some of us that do it? So we'll be like, oh, well, is it me too? I'm thinking, wait, no, I think I try to change and I do stuff for others and I stuff. But here's the thing though, that means we have to do more than what we're doing now. So it seems to me that what I'm hearing is that, okay, even though I'm doing some or we're doing that, there's a lot more men out there that have to do the next step more. We're helping, but we're not doing enough. Like the ones that are coming to the events or trying. What more can we do? The ones that are coming.
I think we all have to do better. I don't think that it should be divided between men should be doing more and women have to do more than them. And there shouldn't be that competition. I think we should be working together to all do better. And when we know better, we do better. That's
go.
a very famous quote Maya Angelou says. And if you know that, so this is information, like these kind of days that we're having, this is knowledge, and knowledge is power. And once you know better, you do better. So we're sharing this with men, not to say they're not doing enough per se, but to say let's all come together at these types of events, even though it's called a Women's International Day, and make it a day where we're all supporting, all learning, all behind each other and building each other up, so that you don't feel like you don't measure up or you're not good enough or you're not equal in all of this. It's about equality. And equality means we work together. We don't point fingers and blame. We support and love on each other and build each other up, so that everybody's feeling like we're working together to bring each other to the place where the best person is doing the job that they are required to do, whether it be male or female.
I'm glad.
And the other question, sorry, Charles, the other question too is not so much what can we be doing more, because we're such an achieving society of like more is better. But sometimes, you get to also look at it, what could you be doing less of? Because sometimes it's not about the more, it's about the stuff that you're doing that you should cut out.
Well, I asked that question to put a challenge to everybody out there that's coming. So I'm putting a challenge to all the ladies that are coming to an event. You have to bring a male figure. So you have to bring your brother, your cousin, a friend, a coworker. That's why I kind of put that out there.
Bring an ally day.
I'm pulling it in right now. You have to bring an ally to this event. That's why I asked that question. What can we do more? Bring somebody to this great event, because like you said, it's not just for ladies. It's for everyone, happening at York Civic Center, 2700 Eglinton Avenue. And it's happening Saturday, March the 8th. So, hey, it was kind of a trick question, but hey, I want you to bring somebody. That's what it's made for. Everybody needs to bring somebody to this fantastic event.
At the bare minimum, bring yourself.
There you
Don't miss this day out. Show up.
There you go. I got two more questions for you before I let you guys go. And I have another special guest that just came into the green room. So we're going to take a quick break. We're commercial. When we come back, we're going to introduce her and go to our last two questions. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes, you're back live, and I have another guest here. Please welcome her to the show. Isa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There you go. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Isa. I'm an early childhood educator. I'm a teacher. I'm a partner in 2 locations of Popeyes Ajax North and my father's restaurant, Cajun Aurelia. And I'm the co-founder, president, and CEO of Zalik Academy, an educational institution for all ages. It's an honor to be here, guys.
All in one breath. There we go.
Yes, I'm so used to saying it now, guys. I winged it down.
All right, so
I didn't even breathe in that sentence.
I noticed. All right, so right after the show, when we're all done, we're all heading over to her father's restaurant to eat some lunch, and And we're going
I'm a
right
house.
Our doors and our hearts are always open to you guys. Anytime, anytime.
All right. So this question, I think we kind of answered it because during each segment, but it's the last one. And I'm going to ask Isa for you to jump in and start us off with this question. So right there, how can businesses and communities take meaningful action beyond just celebrating the day like we talked about? Like, what's the one step? Like one step, you're doing business, you see your restaurants. One step, what can we do that one step?
Thank you. First of all, I want to just thank all the ladies. I was listening in as I was working as well, and you guys are all amazing. The insights and all the topics that you guys touched on, it kind of relates to what I'm about to say as well. I think as a business and as a business owner and someone that has a social impact in the community as a teacher, first and foremost, one of the things that I always tell everybody when you are starting a business or you're in entrepreneurship, the greatest thing that you want to do is make a social impact because, as everyone says, business is about people, right? Your brand is about representing your community, and that's what I've done as a teacher with Zollik Academy. And I think going beyond just Women's Day, I think as you guys mentioned as well, it's every single day. How are we working to make a difference for the next generation? That is who I am working with. For example, the other day, I showed one of my students my speeches, and she said, "Mrs. Malik, you sound like a boy." And I stopped her right there and I said, "What does it mean to sound like a boy?" She said, "Because you're loud." And then I took a step back and I tried to process what she was saying. She's only 6 years old, right? So I asked her mom and I said, "Listen, it's what they hear as well, right? It's part of culture and what we have." And I said, "We have to break this cycle of her thinking that you have to be a boy to be loud." So then I started with her every time she comes into class. I said, "Listen, we're going to do words of affirmation, and you're going to say, 'I am a girl. I can be loud. I can speak up for myself. When I know that I'm doing nothing wrong and I need to make a change and a difference for others, I need to use my voice.'" So I think it's, as you guys all mentioned as well, giving, parents, families, community members a platform to be able to advocate and make everybody part of the conversation, not just those that are affluent, not just those that have a business, but every single person, because everyone's voices are valuable. I think that's what we need to start doing on every level of every event, right?
There you go. That's a mic drop. I heard the mic drop. There you
Okay.
go. All right. Anybody else just to tie it all in? Go ahead.
I'm just going to add on one thing as well. I think education. It plays a big role, like having these conversations more often, right? Having these discussions and where we can even channel onto a larger audience, right? Because we see one man and a lot of women, right? So getting more male on board as well, like Angel said it beautifully, right? How can we get more men into this, guys? I want to hear from you. What can we do? Like have more workshops. Okay, we do those workshops, but how do we make sure our impact is lasting? Not just a one-time thing, because as a teacher, I host these workshops and I want to make a lasting impact on these youth where they're actually going above and beyond and thinking, okay, you know what? I actually have to change my thoughts because there's a challenge. There's disparities when it comes to for example, I had a male the other day. His wife wanted to make a YouTube channel, right? And he was saying to me, he's like, you need to stop training these women because then we're going to lose these women. Then we're going to lose them. They're not going to be good mothers. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be there for their kids anymore. So I want to hear from you guys. And I was mind baffled, right, at his thought and mentality that if this woman starts investing in herself, he's gonna lose her as a wife, right? And I just want to know from you women. So how can we change the mentality of these men that think this way? The patriarchal norm. What do you guys suggest?
I'm gonna jump in right there.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay, after you.
Hold on, yeah, 1 second. For me personally,
yeah,
bring them to these events.
Yes.
If they want to stand in the back, let them just stand in the back.
Yeah.
Because the more they hear and see, it empowers. You can tell them all you want. Actions is what it is. So bring them. If they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go to this thing," just come for 5 minutes. I'm asking you to come for 5 minutes and then you can leave. Like when they see the empowerment, then they see bosses, because like all you ladies are bosses. You have your own company, you're teaching. It changes perspective and seeing things. And I don't mean just the adults. I'm talking about the little ones too. Because you can start You can start with
Mhm.
15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old teens that are going up in high school. You can even start even younger, 9-year-old boys. Bring them, see a room full of smart, educated boss women,
Yeah.
and they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's going on here?" Like it's all about how you see it, how the perspective. I think that's the thing. That's why I challenge everybody when you're coming to this event, bring somebody. Don't just bring
Yes.
just don't bring all the girls. It's just fine. Don't get me wrong. Bring all the girls out, but wives, husbands, boyfriends, bring
Yeah.
them along with you. Because the more that we all gang up and the more we all come together,
Yep.
the team grows. You need, like in football, okay? I know I'm a guy. I'm gonna go to analogy here, but remember, like someone said, you need the offense line and you need the defense line to win the championship.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
need both sides to work together. You need the offense to go, but then you need that defense to say, hey, wait a minute. Are you guys listening? Are you guys watching? Do you see what's happening? Let's move forward. So
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
And it's also about, that's wonderful, Charles. And it's also about addressing the fears.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so you can bring men out to the events and, you know, they can see and witness, yet they might still have their own stories going on in their heads. You know, they can come to an event like this and their takeaway is all these women here who's at home taking care of the family.
Yes.
This is a
Yes.
horrible idea. This is, I knew this was a horrible mistake. So we get to, it's, you know,
No,
the
you're
story
speaking
we
back.
tell ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We get to reframe that. You can't just
Yes.
allow people just witness and come up, draw their
Yeah.
own conclusions.
Yes.
They get to,
Yep.
you know, because the issue is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of losing out and missing out, fear of being hard done by, fear of, you know, their lives and their comfort being compromised in some way,
Yep.
and their future being threatened. So this is the biggest, in my humble opinion, the biggest block of, you know, having men, especially when you start looking at it through the lens of culture and religion and
Yeah.
socioeconomics. There's so many layers. This is not a simple, easy topic. There's so much nuance that we get to address on every level and every layer and every trauma, what it is that people are afraid of. And women are not off the hook because they're women raising boys,
Yes.
doing horrible damage. Yes, women, I'm calling us out.
Yes.
Hold on,
You're
hold
treating
on.
these little boys like,
Maybe
oh,
the-
my little king, oh, my little prince. Oh, no, don't. I'll do that for you. And then you wonder why he's an absolute nightmare to someone else's daughter.
Yeah.
As women, we have a responsibility as well. What we want our daughters to learn, we also get to do that with our boys so that at an early age, from the beginning, we're not attempting to undo something when the guy is 40 or 50. You know what I mean?
But it's too late.
We have like the influence. We're there. We birth them. They come out of us. We have the ability to mold their perceptions, their minds, how they can be in service and reciprocity. And from the beginning, without a fear of doing this somehow makes me weak, somehow makes me lose out on my edge in life. Like we get to, you know, build together, both men and women, all of us as a community, to show and model what it can look like when we all come together to create opportunities for all. No one is losing out. We have so much to gain. So I think we just get to have a better sales strategy and a better
I like
PR. We require
I
better
like
PR
the way
on this.
I like the way you just put it now, right? Like it's our responsibility to bring the boys of today for the men of tomorrow that we want them to be, right? So we're
Yeah.
not just expecting them to just be like, from out of nowhere. So we have to like train them like trees. You plant the seed and you have to water the plants to make it like Iroko tree or what kind of tree you want it to be, like for the future. So it's our responsibility, like, to mold them and bring them up. And again, I want to say something to what was said previously, like, the fear. You mentioned about the fear that the men that comes to this event, the fear come over them, and they're like
Yes.
scared, like, oh, I don't want, my home to be the woman to take over. They shouldn't look at the fear. It's the woman contributing, supporting, helping you as the man. Like you say, you're the head of the house, right? The woman is helping, contributing. If the woman is idle, doing nothing, that's why all women should be empowered. We need to bring something to the table. We know we are the table anyways, right? Without us, nothing is funny.
Well, let me,
But we need to add something, right? We have to, like,
That's my takeaway. I'm the
Yes.
table. Yeah. Yeah.
let me
right
leave it at
there.
that.
So
Let me leave it at that.
We don't need to be idle. Like, we have to have something doing. We need to contribute.
go.
We have to have our say. We can't be silent, We need
All
to
right.
say
So
something.
I'm going to do this
contribute
right
even
now.
with
I'm gonna
our
do this right now.
pockets, with something. We're bringing in something. We can't
Yep.
just allow the men to do everything. You don't sit there and be pretty and just be pretty alone. Also contribute something, right? So
All
that you have your voice. You can,
Yes.
take decisions together. The women,
Don't
it's
hold
not
back,
like
Fumi.
they,
Tell us how you really feel.
I know. Hold on.
Just spit it out,
Don't
Fumi.
hold
Just
back.
say it.
Yeah.
So let me do this right now before she brings in the knives, the forks, the plates, and everything. We're gonna start with the table, and we're gonna ask everybody to come with the knife and forks and cups to Saturday, March 8th at 1 p.m. Come early. Bring the napkins too if you got it. Make sure you're there on time.
Bring whatever you got.
Bring everybody, bring a friend, and it's at right there, York Civic Center, 2700 Eglinton Avenue West. Listen, I have to admit, I had a great time today. This was fun, getting to hear the stories and just listening. And hopefully, we can share this more often and have more discussions, not just the week of March leading up to March.
Yes, let's go, Charles.
We
Yes.
can do some more. So I want to say a great round of applause to all of you.
yay.
Can I get a shout out for my students? Can I show my kids in my school, like all the amazing ladies? Can I get
There
my
you go.
amazing kids?
There you go. Big smile, everybody.
Can you guys wait for the kids?
This is all it is. All right, everyone. Like I always say, you didn't have to watch. You didn't have to listen. You didn't have to watch. You didn't have to listen. I'm so glad you did. And I make sure that I see you there. Thank you for joining us, everybody. You have a great time. And we'll see you next time, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Charles, you're amazing, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank you for listening. If you liked the show or have a comment, we would love to hear from you. Join our mailing list, and as always, check out our special deals links below. I hope this has inspired you to look at your life and jump. See you next week.